Hi, Dan and Dia. Yeah, Sheriff Grady, Judd, just about to talk. We are here live on the scene near Jesse Keene Elementary School. Sheriff, what can you tell us? How did it happen?
Started about 2:30 this morning on Plateau Avenue. Two of our deputies, Deputy Fairbanks and Deputy Braswell, was stopping a guy riding a bicycle. This is an area of interest because of some recent crime, and they saw this gentleman riding this bicycle without any lights on it. The stop went okay as the information goes from the beginning. They said, "Is it all right if we search you for weapons?" And he said, "Sure." He walked over to the front of the vehicle, and at that time he pulled out a semi-automatic handgun. It appears to be a .45 caliber, and started shooting the deputies. The deputies returned fire, shooting him. They went to the ground. The deputies were telling him to lay still, lay still. He started reaching for the gun, and a second gunfight occurred where he was shot some more. He is deceased at the scene. Both of my deputies are being treated at Lakeland Regional Medical Center at this time. I can tell you this about their condition. Deputy Braswell was wearing a bulletproof vest, or he wouldn't be alive this morning. And he was also shot in the extremities. He is in exceptionally good shape for the shots he took. Deputy Fairbanks is in surgery at this hour. Deputy Fairbanks has a wound to the stomach, and he also has a wound to his left arm. He is going to recover. So both of our deputies will recover from this tragic event last night. I can tell you this, it was a bad night, but it was a good night. Anytime you engage a man in a firefight and he's got a large caliber weapon and you win and he loses, that's a good day for the sheriff's office.
Sheriff Judd, is there gang activity in this neighborhood? Is that an issue here?
The issue is that there has been some interest in this area because of some burglaries and some thefts. And quite frankly, that's why they were working this area. This suspect fit the mode. He was out at 2:30 in the morning, very late at night, and he was prowling around on a bicycle. He started out, he was cooperative. And as this progressed, he just busted out with his firearm all of a sudden without any warning at all for the deputies. And that's why these law enforcement officers across this nation put their life on the line every day. Some work a 30-year career and never have to pull and point a firearm at a suspect. Others have to fight for their life. Our deputies fought for their life last night and won.
Have you spoken to them face-to-face this morning?
I have not talked to Deputy Fairbanks. He's in surgery. I have talked to Deputy Braswell, and he's doing exceptionally well, considering the traumatic event they went through. But I can tell you this community supports their law enforcement officers, and we support our deputies. And once again, this is a classic example of what a dangerous job these men and women do every day. And we're always going to support them. And quite frankly, this ended today as it should. Our deputies are alive, and the guy who shot our deputies is dead.
Do you know if this man has a history of criminal activity in this county?
We know that he does have a history of criminal activity. We know of at least one aggravated assault with a weapon. We know of some marijuana possession, and we're researching that. Also keep in mind this is preliminary information. It's certainly subject to modification as the investigation goes forward. But that's the best information we have at this point in the...
Sheriff, how old are these victims?
I'm not sure how old they are. Fairbanks is older than Braswell. In fact, he's preparing to retire. He's probably 55, 58 years of age.
58, 32.
How long
And Braswell's 32.
Sheriff, have you talked to their families at all, and what did you say to their families?
I have talked to all of their families. That's where I went first, to the hospital, because that's where I needed to be with the family. I've got the professionals working the scene out here. And I told the families this: it was a bad night, but it was a great night. Our deputies are alive. They're going to recover from their injuries, that we're going to make sure that they get the best care for their physical injuries. We're going to make sure that they get the best care for their emotional injuries. Our job now is to support them and their families during this traumatic time and to return them both to work just as soon as they can. And they will, because they're that kind of cops.
Any idea at this point how many shots were fired?
I don't know how many shots were fired, but enough were fired.
listening.